We know you'll fight whoever they put in your way next. But if you had the choice, who would the dream fight be for the Nigerian Nightmare?
Honestly, I would have to say Georges St-Pierre. I think George. Right now we're tied for the record, most consecutive wins in the welterweight division, and George is a tough guy. George is a legend. George is a guy that's been around for a while, has put his time in, and is considered one of the best. And that's where I aim to be. George can still do it. He proved it 2 years ago when he came back that he can still do it. And I feel that he's still able to do it. I feel like he's still able to come in and be that that opponent to where people are unsure. Like, you know what? We don't know if Usman's got this one. And I think Georges St-Pierre can be that guy, and that's what I'm looking for. That those are what champions are made of. When you get that feeling, I'm not sure. This one's a tough one. I don't know how this one's gonna go, but I'm gonna damn well go out there and compete and see what happens. And I think Georges St-Pierre can be that guy. And if George wants to do it, George can get it too if he wants to do it.
You're both well-rounded mixed martial artists. How do you see that fight going on? How does Kamaru Usman end George St. Pierre?
I think George was one of the first what I consider a hybrid of the sport. He could do everything well, and it worked for a long time. But I just think I'm the newer and improved version. I think I'm a little stronger, a bit stronger. I think I'm just a little bit better everywhere than George. Not taking anything away from George because obviously his resume proves it.
What would you say to GSP if he's seeing this?
Where you at, George? Where you at? nah, no, George. George knows what he's done with his legacy. He cemented his legacy. He's put in the time, he's put in the work, and that's why he sits at the top as one of the best ever. And so I would love to test myself. I'm a martial artist, just like he was a martial artist, and if he still has some fire burning in that oven, let's test it out and let's go out and see if he can still do it.
We saw you guys squash the beef in the octagon. You had some kind words with each other. Have you talked since, or are you guys like breaking bread if you're both in Florida at all, or not yet?
I wouldn't say I wouldn't say all that. I would say it's a respect thing. He's a martial artist. I'm a martial artist. We respect one another because we shared that space with one another. It's pretty difficult not to respect one another after you've shared something so intimate and with one another. And I think that's what it was.
In terms of your next fight, Dana is saying it will be Gilbert Burns. We know things can change. I guess you're already ahead of the curve, though, that you've already started to train for him. If it is Gilbert, right?
Yeah, if it is, it is. I don't discriminate when it comes to an opponent, and that's one thing that the company you can quote me on that. I don't say no to anybody. If the company feels like that's the next guy, or if it's GSP, or if it's Leon Edwards, then that's the next guy. My job as the undisputed champion is to stay champion, and so whoever they put in front of me, their dreams of being champion quickly turns into nightmares.